What made you think people are fucking stupid? Well, I work at a bank and hear stupid shit all the time. One that comes to mind. A guy was offered a credit card with the promise that the first annual fee was for free. He somehow misunderstood the offer and thought that the bank was going to pay for everything he used the card to buy for the first year, instead of it now not charging him the annual fee for having the card. Naturally, he maximumed out the card and was in for a big surprise when he contacted the bank because it was suddenly being declined everywhere. I listened to a call from a tech support agent speaking with a customer that was convinced her iPhone had a virus on it. It has little red and pink bumps on the screen, even when it's turned off. After 20 minutes of the agent trying to figure it out unsuccessfully, he asked for a number on the phone and customer couldn't see it, so she called her grandson in to read the numbers. He immediately scratched off one of the virus bumps and asked the customer why she had paint on the phone. They had painted a nursery room earlier and some pink paint drops got on the phone. The woman in the news this morning who tried to take a selfie with a jaguar by going into its enclosure and got mauled. Scrolling through any social media platform and seeing those god-forbidden posts saying chef for 7 years of good luck or backslash said app backslash is going to start charging users $4 on May 1st. The first 10,000 people to share this post do not have to pay. I mean seriously, how do people really believe this crap? Whenever I see a bottleneck of people waiting to get through a door and there's a second door that none of them have bothered to open. People who harass actors on social media when the character they play is being a dick in a show/movie. It happened to Josh McDermott. He plays Eugene in The Walking Dead. I met him and he was an absolute lovely positive guy. He eventually deleted all his social media channels because lots of people couldn't make the distinction between him and his character and he was harassed 24/7. How can people honestly be dumb enough to not understand fiction? Number of years ago working at a gas station, guy drives in like a bat out of hell with smoke pouring out of his car. This is a rather large station with a lot of room, but this guy decides to park at the pumps, jump out and yells that he thinks his car is on fire. I lay into him about how he is stupid if he thinks the smartest place to park is next to gas pumps when you think your car is on fire. There is literally 6,000 square feet of nothing but concrete to park on that is away from the pumps, and he picks that spot. Good thing because of the white smoke I knew it was just an overheating car, but the guy's thought process really made me feel some people just shouldn't be allowed out in public. Every time someone advertises a pyramid scheme on their Insta/Snapchat story. The comments on YouTube videos, Facebook articles, Yahoo Answers, and pretty much any other corner of the internet where many people congregate. My school offers a discount on coffee if you bring your own mug for them to fill, so they don't have to use paper coffee cups. Makes sense in theory, except the employees measure out one serving of coffee by using a paper coffee cup, then they pour that into your personal mug and throw out the paper coffee cup. At our restaurant, we had a promotion where, if you made a post about us on social media, you could get 10% off your bill. A lady came in and gave me her electricity bill. I had no idea what was going on until I realized she was asking me for a 10% cash back on her bill. Someone made fun of me for reading. Edit, guys, you're upvoting and commenting way too much, just let me read. Me, what language is that? Them, Asian. Me, Asian isn't a language. Them, in the sassiest tone possible. If you already knew, then why you'd ask? An errand amp, W burst into flames in my city. People were still pulling into the drive-thru, even though it was literally in flames. Oh, and as lots of people have said, everything else as well. And I'm always reminded of the George Carlin quote, whenever you think of how dumb the average person is, remember that half of the people are dumber. The fact that measles is making a comeback. Years of retail/customer service. Not only are people dumb, but they have very little idea how to be civilized, proper human beings. But yeah, continue screaming at the minimum wage cashier about corporate policies and federal laws, like they have any control over anything. Edit. I love all your stories. I was lucky enough to get out of retail, but still help out my bestie from time to time at her C-store. I get so much joy out of telling the asshole customers off, because I can now. Go ahead. Fire me. I don't care. I will always stand up for the cashier / customer service rep / server / etc. When I started driving. Before then I thought 99% of adults were smart, considerate, mature people who followed the rules of the road completely. Then I got my license and quickly realized, wow, there's a lot more dipshits out here than I thought. From simple things like idiots not knowing how a roundabout works, use your fucking indicators, to dangerous road maneuvers that save minuscule amount of time and put you in a lot of danger, or a continuous white line going around a bend that I can't see. Why now would be the perfect time to pass out that tractor with a long trailer in front of me. Then there's just the plain ignorant / oblivious people like the couple who stopped in the middle of the road and held up a line of cars so they could check their map. And amp #X200B. I was in Vietnam a while ago, sitting on a patio drinking 5-cent glasses of beer. Not far from where some train tracks cross the road. Anyone who's driven in Vietnam can tell you that the rules of the road are mostly suggestions, but by and large people stay on the right hand side of the road. This is what I saw until the train blocked traffic for a few minutes. When traffic was stopped, everyone tried to get to the front to be the first one able to go once the train passed. This included filling up the lanes normally reserved for traffic going the other direction. This wouldn't be so bad on a one-way street, but when the train finally passed, there were 2 walls of motorbikes blocking the entire road. It took about 10 minutes to clear up and get flowing again, until about another 10 minutes later another train would come, and the process would repeat. Edit. Fixed a typo. When I was young. Started my first job at a fast food place. Guy comes up, orders chicken meal with sides etc. We had a promotion that was cheaper than normal price and came with an extra side of mashed potatoes. Sweet deal. I give him his food, then a few minutes later he walks up to me demanding a refund for the potatoes, saying he didn't want them and just wanted the normal meal. After trying to explain it was cheaper to no avail, I ring up the refund and he owes me about $2. I tell him this, demands manager etc. Manager refunds them $4, then later scolds me. People suck. Saw a woman FaceTiming some guy on her phone while she's sitting at a green light getting honked at. You don't know how many times I've seen this. Also when people got their AirPods / Beats on in their car and don't hear police / ambulance sirens, so they look like an asshole who doesn't stop for them. Chilling in traffic on the highway, some wreck a few hundred yards up the road. Guy rolls by on the shoulder going like 70, runs out of room, rear ends a car. 5 minutes later another guy rolls by and does the exact same thing. I spent like 3 hours on that highway that day. LMAO. I'm a preschool teacher and I used to work with this girl that had been a teacher for a while. She used to ask other staff questions like, what colors do you mix to make white, or what colors are the American flag again, or my personal favorite, wait, aren't a hippo and a rhino the same thing? She wasn't trolling even a little bit. People who fully brake for their turn and then change lanes into the turning lane. Geez, that pisses me off. Vandalizing national parks because they're anti-government, thereby proving that the government is necessary to keep assholes from destroying our common heritage. People in cars making wide turns, like they are pulling a trailer. Please don't swerve in front of me before you turn right. Your car can turn. Working in a restaurant, I like referring to it as babysitting adults. Watching a woman try to go down an up escalator. Edit. For those telling me they do it for fun, I know I've done the same thing, but it's when you're trying to use the escalator for convenience like this that I think it's idiotic. Working in veterinary. Fuck me, people can be thick. To the point of should not be allowed to have children, let alone animals. That recent gif where a woman couldn't blow out a match, strike 1, so she decided to just put out down on the table while alight, strike 2, even though there was a candle holder she could have put it in right there, strike 3. Oh, and she didn't just place the lit match on the table, she put it on top of the matchbox. Idiocy. Are Nazis and communists the same thing? I don't get why people in wheelchairs doing just stand up. I can do it, why can't they? These were said by a girl in all my classes. She says stupid shit like this all day. It's been snowing all day. One of my neighbors just drove by and the only portion of their car swept off was part of their windshield. Not even the whole fucking thing. Stupid assholes like this probably cause so many unnecessary accidents. Is Mexico in India? Started working as tech support for an ISP and AMP #X200B. My computer screen is dark and says no signal. Is the internet down? Black Friday comes to mind. Flat earthers. When someone says they barely make it through the month with their pay, but they spend at least $10 on lunch every day. People who reply to questions for products on Amazon with "sorry I don't know" or "this was a present." Thank you for telling me that you don't know if this phone case is waterproof, Margaret. Thanks for not answering my fucking question. Honestly, these people hurt my brain. Everyone does stupid stuff. Some of us just make a habit out of it. Reading r/show our thoughts. Finding a way to crowbar in disparaging statements against people associating them with a political party when the original topic had nothing to do with politics. This fucking measles outbreak. When I hear someone say, "I didn't take the raise because it would put me in a higher tax bracket." People freaking out over the Momo challenge even though it's fake. When an unvaccinated Oregon boy rang up a $1 million hospital bill for a tetanus infection, and his mom took him home from the hospital and didn't immediately go and vaccinate him, despite the fact that small dosages of the vaccine are part of the treatment that saved his life. Driving in Florida. It is literally a fight to not get killed by morons the entire time. Working in retail, followed by working in a call center. I'd never fathomed how stupid and cruel people could be before. 2 lanes at a drive-through fast food joint. Lane 1 is 3 cars deep. Lane 2 is empty. Maybe it's a small town thing, but I'm starting to think these people are kinda thick.